Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. Gets past one man. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
White's numbers from a week ago. 23 carries, 109 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
Let's focus outside on Demaryius Thomas. His numbers were down slightly last year. First time in the last 5 years he didn't top 1,000 yards. But this guy's been to 5 Pro Bowls. And when I think about the evolution of his career, from his time at Georgia Tech where they were running an option offense and he didn't catch much more than bombs, to now being a complete receiver, no reason in my mind to think he won't be over 1,000 yards again in the future.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Let's look at the defensive starters now for Dallas. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to it. On third down, it's White. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Ryan drops it underneath to goal. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And a dump off to White. inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. Caught on the right side, Reed. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. A look at the numbers from a week ago for Reed. 8 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown as well.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football. And
the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
Now it's Trubisky. That one complete to Yeldon. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Mike Daniels in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, that the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Play action. Ryan. And he's got Sanu. How did he stay on his feet? And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the run. It'll be 3rd down now with still a long way to go to get to the 1st down marker. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Wormley, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. So a first quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he's got some space here. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
They keep it with Yeldon on 1st down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Holding offense.
That's on the veteran guard, Alex Boone. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And that's incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. And he's got the open man. It's Allen on the comebacker. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. But likely not for long. On 4th down, here's Andy Lee on to kick it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Ryan. Over the middle to Smith. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play. On 2nd down, Ryan. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's White. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one good for 10 yards. And they're going to have a third down.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll begin here with Bernard. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Trubisky, and he fires one incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense, if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Underneath, this is Bernard, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Here's Bernard, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Off the corner, where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game, no gain. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 20. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And this is going to be incomplete. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a 1st down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the gun, Ryan got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. They go play action now. Ryan And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. To throw is Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Demaryius Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On first down, Trubisky. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And this is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Completes it right side to Cooper. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They go play action. Trubisky rolling to his right. They'll wind up getting 9 after tacking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. He drops it off for Bernard. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now a signal in the timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
A nice little juke. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Mike Daniels in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Take it in at the 22. Very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up first and 10 at their own 42. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And Thomas has it. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And he would have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's got Gore. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. Now White. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They run. It's Gore. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Frank Gore, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They go play action here on 1st down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And, Frank Gore yet to get up. Maybe dinged up on that play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And they work this out past the 25. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them up.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On second down, here's Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Falcons on third down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is third down and 12. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And he's got some. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. Play action. It's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The give is to Jones. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further.
Offense.
So that one will be accepted. On second down, Ryan. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter play. Now Trubisky. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Now it's Ryan. And a dump off to White.
Holding offense.
They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, second-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Ryan. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a 1st down.
Partner, if you and I were playing quarterback in this one, we would be really confident right now throwing it to him, wouldn't we?
Yeah, he's been spectacular. He's just saying, hey, I was All-State. I'm going to get rain out here. Here's Ryan to throw. He completes it right side away. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 17 down to the 17, and it's a 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. On 1st down, it's score. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Following the penalty, it's goal. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Tackle made by Thomas Davis. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He's going to lock one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Holding. Offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Allen has it, left side. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Jordan Reed has it. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a 1st. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Here's Trubisky. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
They'll try and run for it with Yeldon. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll run here with Bernard. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity. Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Ryan to the Falcons now. Come up 1st and 10 at the 34. way, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Back to the ground, this time with Gore. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, it's White, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Back to throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Back to throw. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Julius Peppers in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Nick Perry in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. They'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Offside. Defense.
Yeah, that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
False start. Offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
He'll look to throw. He drops it off for Bernard. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down. Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Falcons are close to finishing off this football game. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Falcons, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Dallas, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.